I think there was a shift in 2016 regarding who is the most hyped fighter on the planet. It had been Gennady Golovkin. What was it? Something like 20 knockouts on the trot. Seemed impervious to whatever got thrown his way. Didn't care. Walked you down. Battered you. He fights Danny Jacobs, who most of us accept is going to be his best opponent up until that point. And not only is he taking the distance, but it's a genuinely close fight. And the Golovkin hype just starts to simmer a little bit. Attention is turned a little bit more onto Vasyl Lomachenko, who at 130 pounds is doing some incredible things. He's not fighting just cannon fodder, they're pretty good opponents, and he's absolutely dominating them. They can't deal with it. It really is like the manifestation of playing a video game on a completely unfair difficulty setting. We ended up being treated to 4 Lomachenko's in a row. These opponents apparently voluntarily retiring because it's just too difficult with the Ukrainian. Lomachenko goes up to lightweight, and kind of like I say with Roman Gonzalez when he made that jump from fly to superfly, you can see the physicality isn't quite there anymore. This poundage doesn't really suit the Ukrainian. He's having to force his work a little bit more. But he still is generally dominating. And gets, I think, a very good win over a very useful Jorge Linares. And then we all know the score. Lomachenko goes on to fight the brash upstart Teofimo Lopez. He doesn't quite do enough. I do think he was the deserved loser. And that's the only real boob in his career, I think. Because yes, he does have 2 official losses. But the one against Orlando Salido, was it in his second pro fight? And he almost has the guy out of there in the dying moments. Against the guy who was much heavier come fight night. That's forgivable. But him tactically getting it wrong against Lopez when he's supposed to be the tactical master, it was unfortunate. It should have had a rematch. We never got it. And this, for me, is where the great shame is for the lightweight division. We were told how many top fighters we had. How it's such a red-hot division. But it's only a red-hot division if they all fight each other. That's the whole point of boxing. It's not modelling. I'm not just going to look at Ryan Garcia, Lomachenko, Teofimo, maybe Gervonta Davis and go, oh yeah, look at those guys. This is a hot division. No, they've actually got to compete. Would you believe it? Had we got the Teofimo Lopez rematch, it would have been really interesting to see how it unfolded. And then Lopez, maybe he could have, if he felt he was too big for the weight, could have given up the belts, fragmented them, or had Loma won, kept them all, of course, and continued to defend. Where I felt the real narrative was in the lightweight division. Now we've got this ridiculous situation where Haney is giving Gambosis an unnecessary rematch. But we know the score. This certainly isn't a new discovery. Boxing can disappoint routinely because of people popping dirty, poor scorecards, poor matchmaking, you name it. But we stick with it because we love it. And one of the reasons to be excited again is because Lomachenko is coming back. No, I don't think it's in the Garden, is it? It's in one of those theatres. And he's going to be fighting Jamaine Ortiz, a guy 8 years his junior. Plenty of ambition, good spring in his legs. Quite slick, knows how to switch stances, and perhaps in the intelligent way, not in the just I'm going to try it to spook you and end up confusing myself way, like Dylan White against Tyson Fury. He's got a little daughter who looks up to him. What the hell has he got to lose? I think this is a fight that will show us how much speed is left in the 34-year-old Lomachenko. He's at that age now where you're just looking a bit closer for those cracks. And Ortiz, with the exuberance of youth, that little bit of cockiness that often comes with it, he should at least give the Matrix a good workout. In his last fight against Jamel Herring, who, yes, was 10 years older, and started to look it near the end of the fight. Ortiz did at least go through the gears, I think, in the last 2 rounds. He sensed that, okay, I'm on a bigger platform. I've got to look good here. I am trying to get a title shot. I know, of course, I don't think this is going to be for a title against Lomachenko. But if he were to somehow beat Loma, it would actually mean more than winning a title. Problem is, irrespective of experience, Ortiz has a big problem here. The same problem every opponent has of Lomachenko, which is I've never seen these kind of moves before. Certainly not in the combination that they come. He's one way, he's the next, he's done a quarter circle around me. He's right in my face, he's throwing combinations, he's too close, now he's back out of range. He's leaning one way, this way, double jab this way. He throws combinations you haven't seen before. Very creative, very nimble. You're struggling to hit him when he's right in front of you, and then he's taunting you. Against Richard Comey, which was his last performance, some people may have been critical of a few of those taunts, saying they were in poor taste. Well, it's just a guy in the zone, isn't it? It's a fighter who's supposed to be mean in the zone. He's in flow state, right? It's those kind of moves, though they may not have been as overwhelmingly Matrix-esque as we've seen before, they were still certainly good enough. And I think those skills are going to be too much for Ortiz, who's going to succumb either by a late stoppage or a lopsided point defeat.